Gang, thanks for hanging with the Mechanic Ninja today. Today we're working on a Toro Power Clear single stage snowblower. This snowblower, I was told, is only a couple years old and it's not starting. Definitely not what you want to have happen when you buy a new machine, just a few years old. I'm going to show you how to diagnose this and also how to clean the carburetor. So let's dive right into it. What you'll need is your socket set. And what you're going to be working with is a 5/16 socket. We're going to be working right back here. With these machines, you got to take off this top plate. Make sure you haven't been running this machine or this will be hot. Just a couple things right off the bat. Make sure you're in a well-ventilated area. Make sure you have good eye protection. And I like to wear these gloves because it protects my hands from the gas. And then later on, you're going to want to have something to catch the gasoline so you can dispose of it correctly. So go ahead and pull these two bolts off right here. There's two there. There's two on this side. Go ahead and set them where you're not going to lose them. And there's two on this side. Okay, there's two on this side, one on the bottom, one up here in the front. You're going to need an open-ended wrench to get that other one. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Okay, one right here, and then one right up here. And that one is even smaller. I think that's a 1/4 inch. Toro wanted to make it fun for us, so they put a different size bolt right there. Oh no, oh, it's 5/16. I just grabbed the wrong wrench. Go ahead and bust that loose. Once you get it loose, you should be able to bring that with your hands. Man, that's tight. Tight working quarters in there. Okay, go ahead and get that guy out. Hopefully you're following along at home with yours. These Toros are great machines. I'll be honest, I'm probably most impressed with the Toros that are on the market right now than any other machine. So I think what was probably done with this one is it just wasn't, oops. I don't think that they ran ethanol-free gas through it. Okay, I'll get you up here. Okay, next thing you're gonna need is a 10mm socket. Go ahead and grab that. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna take this plastic off. We really just wanna get in there to see if we can get this thing to fire on starter fluid. Okay, so you got two bolts right here. One here, one here. Go ahead and take those off. Do not lose those nuts that you take off. Okay, now this thing is loose, it moves freely, but before you do anything, you want to come over here. Okay, you got some things that are hooked on. You got this primer bulb line. Just kind of pull that. It looks like it's hooked on just a little bit right there. It's hooked on by a little plastic thing. You'll see what I'm saying if you look. Just as you pull this off, oh, they're gonna make us pull them off, aren't they? Okay, there we go. Luckily, you can get that off without having to pull this plastic. Just be gentle with it, kind of work it till you can get it off, and then just kind of set it to the side like that. Next thing I want us to do is go Go ahead and open that carburetor like that. Go ahead and spray some starter fluid into that carburetor. And we're gonna see if it'll start on starter fluid. There we go. Okay, cool. If yours started on starter fluid like mine did, then you know that it is a carburetor problem. The carburetor is gummed up, or there's some blockage of some kind in there. So this is where you're going to want to grab your bucket or whatever you're going to use to catch the gasoline. If you don't have these tube clamps, these are awesome. I'm just going to go ahead and clamp the tube, the gas line. You can do this with vice grips as well. Just be very careful you don't sever the line. And then go ahead and grab your, still going to put this under here just to catch what little gas is going to come out of there. There's little bitty, oops, let me get that out of your way so you can see. There's this little clamp on here. Just go ahead and squeeze it and move it back. Move it back on the gas line so we can get that off. Just some words of advice. If you don't want to be doing this every year, where you have to work on your machine, make sure you're running ethanol-free gas through it. Okay, take your pliers or your flat-headed screwdriver, just kind of push up on that gas line. If yours is being fun like mine, you can grab it and just kind of work it back and forth. Just kind of pull that gas line off. Sometimes they are nasty. I'm going to grab me a flathead screwdriver. Sometimes they don't like to be nice to us. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and push that out. Man, how's it on there? Okay, I'm going to kind of move this. Okay, all right. Not a ton of room in here. Okay, there we go. Got mine to move. Once you get it to move just a little bit, then it should come off just fine like that, okay? Make sure you clamp that or your gas is going to come out of there. Go ahead and take this off. Set that somewhere you're not going to forget to put that back on. On the other side of your carburetor, right here, when you take this line off, this is your primer line. Sometimes you got to ask yourself why they put things on the way they did. Okay. Okay. Go ahead and set that aside. Now, next thing, these linkages right here. Go ahead and grab your needle nose pliers. Pop this linkage up and off. It's just got a little pirate's hook. And then this one, just turn that plastic that way and then bring that one straight up. Your carburetor should then come straight off. That's what your carburetor looks like. I'm going to show you how to clean this with a ultrasonic cleaner. An ultrasonic cleaner, in my opinion, is the best way to clean a carburetor. It cleans it the very best, in my opinion. I've cleaned for years with just carburetor cleaner, and it does great, but an ultrasonic cleaner has it beat by a long shot. One, it cleans a lot better and deeper and more thorough, and it's less work for you. The machine does most of the work. And thirdly, I just put simple green and water mix into my ultrasonic cleaner, and so I love breathing. I hate breathing carburetor cleaner. It gives you a headache, so I hate being around that stuff. If you don't have an ultrasonic cleaner, this video is still for you. I will show you how to clean this without an ultrasonic cleaner. I'm going to go into my ultrasonic cleaner and we'll move on from there. Okay, so this here is an ultrasonic cleaner like I was telling you about. It is awesome. Over here, you got the temperature you can set it to. And then over here is your run time. Like I told you, I just have simple green in there and water mixture. Works great. So what you want to do is get your, as you can see, I need to clean up my bench. Okay, so what you want to do, grab your 10mm bolt or 10mm socket and go ahead and pop that loose. Have something to catch your gasoline so you can dispose of it correctly. And go ahead and take your bowl off of your carburetor. Okay. Awesome. You can see this thing's like brand new. It's crazy that it wasn't running. Go ahead and take out this shaft. Then take off your float and needle. And then it leaves you with this. A couple things right off the bat. We're going to take out this screw right here. But you want to take a picture to make sure that you put that back in as far as it's supposed to go. So take a picture of that really quick. Flip it over like this. Grab your flat-headed screwdriver. And take that out. Back it out like this. Then go ahead and take your flat-headed screwdriver and pop this guy out. Okay. Just another little jet is in there. So you want to make sure that's out. Now, there's a jet down in here that you need to get out. If you don't get it out, it is next to impossible to get your machine to run right. I had to take this flat-headed screwdriver and grind down the sides so that it would fit in there. Hopefully you have a screwdriver that fits already. I had to modify mine. Now what you want to do, this is a brass piece down in there. You don't want to get too rank on it and break it. Believe me, I have broken before. So just put your screwdriver down there and see if it'll just pop loose. Okay, mine. Let's see. Okay, mine popped loose. Okay, you see what I'm saying down in there? Mine is not popping loose, actually. Okay, I don't want to break this. This is where an ultrasonic cleaner comes in very handy. I'm going to run this through the ultrasonic cleaner, and it's going to free that up so I can take it right out. If you don't have an ultrasonic cleaner, you can set this in carburetor cleaner for a little while and just let it sit and soak. Don't leave it in there too long. You don't want to hurt any gaskets. And then that should come right out. So I'm going to throw this in the ultrasonic cleaner. Then when I get it out, I'll show you what we need to do once that's out. Okay, so I just got this out of the ultrasonic cleaner. I popped it open. This came out. I feel blessed that that came out. Sometimes those are a bear. So if yours is not coming out, don't break that brass piece in there. Just keep dipping it in your carburetor cleaner or in your ultrasonic cleaner until you can get it out. Then all you got to do is twist it out. Go ahead and tip it on its side like this. I'm just trying to get a good picture. And you kind of got to slowly get it to come out. And then you can push in through here. You'll see the jet way up in there. See it right there. And then you can push down on that. And then go like that. And boom, the jet comes out. That is our main goal. We want to get that out. That is where your problem usually 9 times out of 10 lies. And what you want to do is you want to find something that will fit through those jets. And then you want to run it through it. And clean out those little ports. So if you have a pin, a needle, a small needle, whatever you have, go ahead and run it through there and push out all the gunk that's in there. Then you want to do the same thing up through the middle shaft of this. You can get these on Amazon. They're little pipe cleaner, carburetor cleaners, and then send them up. Let's see, where's the small one? And then send them up through the middle. You want to clean all that gunk out. So clean that. And then the best way to do it is hold it up to the light and make sure you can see through each one of those portholes. And then on this one, that little guy that comes out first, go ahead and run this through that. That has a little porthole right there. You want to make sure you can see light. It's easiest just to hold it up to the light. Make sure you can see light. What I usually do is I get these out and then I take the air compressor and I blow them out as well. So then that plastic one that we had too, make sure you can stick a needle through that. It's got a little port down there as well. Then take an air gun and go ahead and blow them out. I'm going to blow mine out real quick. Okay, then you want to do the same thing here. Then you can run your file through it some more, or your pin. You want to make sure those are cleaned out. If there's any blockage in there, it will hurt how your engine runs. Okay, so those are done there. Oops, I didn't hit this one. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this back in the ultrasonic cleaner and run it again now that that's out, just to get any more gunk that might be down in there. And I'm going to run these in there as well with them out so that the ultrasonic can just get to them better and clean it. So I'm going to do that. When I get that done, I will show you how to put it back together. All right, I got that out of the ultrasonic cleaner for the second time. Sprayed these jets out with that air. Make sure again that you hold this up to the light. You can see light through all of those portholes. Once you get there, you're going to take this. This end is going in first. Go ahead and drop it down. Boop. Then go ahead and take this and put in. Make sure that your side with the screw is facing up. Go ahead and drop that down in. Kind of shake it a little bit. Take your flat-headed screwdriver. Go ahead and tighten that down. You are only going snug. Again, this is brass parts. You do not want to break it, damage it in any way. Snug, just like that. Snug. Perfect. Then go ahead and take this little guy. Again, make sure that you can see daylight through that. And go ahead and send him back into this hole on the side. Make sure it's clean down in there. And oh, this one's got a little burr on it. I'm just going to pull that burr off so it doesn't clog anything. And then send it down. Now these have to go to where the flat side are on this side and that side. And then you just kind of put some pressure on it and it pushes it down. Now take this, stick this guy in here and send him back through there with your flat-headed screwdriver. Go ahead and look back at that picture that I told you to take so that you make sure you know how far to screw this bad boy in. Mine was about right there. Right here is where you're looking, where it's coming through. Okay, go ahead and take your float. I like to clean these off too. Just blow them off a little bit. Make sure there's no gunk in there. Wipe them down. Then go ahead and send it down into where it needs to go. Okay. Grab your shaft. Clean off the shaft. You don't want any burrs, any gunk on there. That's going to hold your float up from moving freely once installed. Now you can go like this. Best way to check these to make sure that they're going to seal is grab a clean tube, stick it on here, and then while it's like this, blow into it. Make sure that no gas is getting through there. I think this one's clean, so, oh, that's tiny. Anyways, go ahead and blow on that when you put a gas thing on it. Make sure no air is coming through that. If you are blowing on that with a clean tube and you can't push any air, you know that your needle and seat are blocking off the gas perfectly. Then you don't have to worry about it. So go ahead and check that. Mine's good. Definitely want to do it with a clean tube. Okay, next thing you want to do, take your float bowl. Make sure that if your gasket stayed on there like mine, great. Sometimes they stay down in here. Just make sure it's on there. Go ahead and send that back over. Then take your bolt. Make sure that the gasket on that is good. Then go ahead and thread it in by hand. Okay. You get your 10 millimeter. You're just gonna snug that up. Do not go super tight. You do not want to break anything or cross through anything. Perfect. Awesome. We're gonna move back to the machine. I'm gonna show you how to install it, show you how to fire it over. Okay, we're back on the machine. Let's go ahead and put this guy back together. Go ahead and take your carburetor like this. Send it back over those bolts. Okay, be very gentle and slow. Okay. Go ahead and take your gas valve, oops, get that out of the way, your gas line, and slide it back over. And they just do not give you a lot of room right here. Okay, get that back over. Then you go ahead and release your gas. It's actually best to release your gas now, because if there's any leaks, you want to know about them before you get this machine back together. Go ahead and move your clamp back down. Okay, then go ahead and take this spring. You can get it with your hands. Just send that pyro hook back down in there, and then this linkage back down in there. Awesome. Okay, don't forget this. Go ahead and take a look at this. Make sure it's clean. Wipe it off. If it's dirty, then go ahead and send it back on. Make sure that they line up correctly. It goes on this way, like this, okay? Go ahead and send yours back on. And go ahead and fill underneath this carburetor. Make sure it's not leaking any gas. If it's not, you're good to go. Go ahead and put your primer line back on. Let me go ahead and turn that clamp around just because that was a pain. So if someone ever has to get into this machine again, hopefully it's not a pain for them. Okay, got that on, got that on. Now go ahead and take this and slide it through where it goes. And then you're just going to slowly move this around. Get your head right down in here so you can get it back on. It's a little tight. Okay. And once you got it back on, push the plastic on while you're looking down here, making sure everything is in a good spot. One thing you want to do is go ahead and take your finger and move this piece of this linkage. Make sure nothing is going to hinder that. Nothing's in its way. Everything's where it's supposed to be. Nothing's hindering it. And then you know that you're good. Okay, what we're gonna do now, go ahead and take these nuts that you have and put them back on right here. One thing that I like to do oops, go ahead and thread it by hand. When you're putting it back on, you really don't want to use the impact. You do not want to over tighten these and break anything. Remember, it's a 10mm bolt or nut. Go ahead and tighten these up. And you just want them snug. Okay, now right now I'm not going to put anything back on because I want to see if this machine's going to run. So go ahead and put your choke on. Give it a few primes. And then let's go ahead and see if it's going to start and run good for us. Before you start it, make sure you're in a well-ventilated area. Pull your kill out, your kill switch. Awesome. So hopefully you're started like mine. It's running great. I'm very happy with the sound I'm hearing. It's running at a good RPM and it's doing great. So go ahead and grab your 5/16. These ones I will run into a point with the impact, but I will not do the final snugness with the impact. So go ahead and take this. Remember, there's this lip. You're gonna have to get it underneath that gas tank. So kind of come in like this. Come in like this. over this. Okay, just kind of get it on there like that. Go ahead and start your bolts by hand. They're all the same length, same size. So just go ahead and start them by hand. And we got one here, two here. Be careful while you're working over here not to touch the exhaust pipe. You don't want to burn your hands. Two over here. Then you got the fun one up here. Don't forget to put that one in. That one's gonna be exciting. Come on, just go in, please. You do not want to tighten any of these until you get them all started. Because sometimes if you tighten one, it'll throw this off kilter and be a real pain to get in. Okay. Now that I got them all started, I'm going to run them in, not snug, just barely. Perfect. Now I'm going to switch over to my wrench, and I'm going to just put them snug. You're not over tightening these, you will snap stuff. Okay, once these are all tight, then you just have this winch one in the front that's going to take a while. And I'm not going to keep you guys on here to watch me do that. So hopefully this video was helpful. If you're going to get into doing this full time, you definitely want to have an ultrasonic cleaner. As you can see, it's so much easier just to throw it in the ultrasonic cleaner. Walk away for a half hour and have it clean it. Saves time, money, and you don't have to breathe that carburetor cleaner. Hope this was helpful. Go ahead and give me a like and subscribe. It really helps me out. Have a great day.